Hey everybody, you know me and this effed up lighting bullshit. I'm just shutting this shit down. What a way to start off, huh? Bipolar, of course. And now here's a slurp for all you. Sorry about that, my good people, but I don't edit. I don't have a filter, and that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. All right, the Mafia honorable. Well, I did a lot of videos about the rats and everything else, and informants and all that convoluted stuff. You better rat because he's gonna rat first, and all of that kind of stuff. But I do have to give a shout out to the honorable members that they did their time. They a lot of them knew they were in big trouble. They didn't run. A lot of them knew they broke some rules, and they took whatever consequences were going to be bestowed upon them, and prison or a bullet. And there was a lot of that. I talk about the informants and everything else, and then I had mercy for the informants because it just became a complete rat race. Hey, Deb, I'm bored. I thought I'd do a silly video. You know, the lighting, it's on my glasses. I don't give a shit anymore where this fucking channel goes. I don't care anymore. I don't care. It's getting silly. It's getting kind of silly. I mean, you build up and then they censor you, and yeah. So it's a crazy platform. They all want to hear mob stories, mafia, till they're blue in the face. There's nothing else. And I talked a lot about those informants and what would you do, folks? They brung in 3 people. One guy's your partner, and then you're sitting in there, and then it's paranoia, and then you better go. You better talk before he talks, and all that. But yeah, that's the first time you're commenting. That's cool. So yeah, this is my crazy studio, the lights in my eyes and everything and all of that. But I don't need a fancy production. I don't need all the bells and whistles and all that other bullshit them other guys are doing. God bless them. God bless them. If I had their studio and editing and production, I'd have 1 million subscribers, but who cares? I live a better life than all of them anyway, so that's all that matters. They're all hiding in their holes. Yeah, they were all rats. They're all hiding in their holes, you know. All their big YouTube channels, all the mobsters, all the big name mobsters. They're all hiding in their holes, Deb. They can't come out in the public in the real world because somebody might smash their heads in. So I'll take what I got. I go out. I can go anywhere I want on this planet. They got to send somebody to get a freaking loaf of bread and a gallon of milk at the grocery store. They can't hit the streets. Big tough gangsters with all their stories, and they're hiding in their holes, and they can't go out into the world. Oh well, what are you gonna do? But there were a lot of stand-up regular guys that did their time in prison. They didn't rat. There was a lot. Even after the RICO came in, even after Giuliani came in with the RICO Act, and they were handing out 20-year prison sentences like Halloween candy, they still took it on the chin. And, you know, You don't hear about them guys. YouTube channels, a platform, and it's just a rodeo. And if you're not a recognizable name with a gory blood and guts mob story, then you're not gonna get jack squat. But I do this because I'm bored. I like some of my people that come in here too. But that's it. I'll never get monetized. But as far as intellect and knowledge and all the rest of the Mafia game rodeo, they can't. They half their shit is lies. But like I said, let it be entertaining. The public likes their lies, so let them rock and roll. So, but they don't have better chops than me. They might have money to throw at editors and big production bullshit and all that, and the YouTube viewers going, "Yay, yay! That's my Mafia hero." God bless you. God bless you. I'd rather watch Elmer J. Fudd and Bugs Bunny. So I give credit. No, I was running around and I knew some guys, and a couple of them knew that the end was near, and they were robbing the money. And I had, like I might have mentioned in another video, just pay the money back. And, I didn't know all the backstory of their history prior to when I knew them for a half a minute. And I didn't know, I wasn't privy to everything that went on, but I was just thinking it was a money thing because they were degenerate gamblers. They were whore masters. And they were just, blowing all the money. And then they were robbing some. And it's just like, can't you pay it back? Can't you pay it back and make a deal and everything? But there were families around Western New York with the Colombos and other intermingled families from, connected to Brooklyn and Cleveland and Binghamton and Toronto. And it was just like they knew that they messed up, and it was just like they didn't run. There was a certain crew, that particular crew, they were just a bad acting crew, and they all ended up missing. I don't know where they went, but when the smoke cleared, they were gone, and there was a new regime coming in to streamline. No drugs. The old crew was dabbling in drugs, which was supposed to be taboo in the 5 crime families, but it wasn't. Don't believe all these other bullshit channels. Every family in the crime family in New York was dealing in drugs. Some had a huge marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and everything else. My godfather was protecting a guy who I hated. He was protecting a guy that had warehouses full of marijuana. But I hated him because the other guy didn't treat him and compensate him accordingly. And I hated him, and I got in a lot of fights with my godfather because he was chiseling my godfather, and he was protecting him, and he was a creep of all creeps, and he was making a ton of money, and I didn't like him at all. But them guys that were dealing the drugs, and the bosses knew it, and they're blowing their checks. They're blowing all their checks, all their money on gambling and whores and drugs. And then they had to deal drugs to make up for some of the money. And then they owed every bookie on the planet. They owed every bookie all kinds of money. So these guys were breaking all the rules. And some of them try to do the honorable thing. They didn't run, they didn't hide, and maybe there was a bad ending. But as far as the other families, people, I didn't know the intimate details, but as far as the other families were concerned, I talked a lot of shit about the rats and the informants, and I even justified some of that. Why they would rat, why they would turn into an informant. I even did that. But some just were old school Cosa Nostra. They took their charges. They went to prison, and they were highly respected. But when a guy is 65 years old and he did like 35 years of his adult life in prison, like, what was that worth it? What was that worth it? And then come out of prison broke. So, and in the meantime, the FBI is paying the informants thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. The FBI is looking the other way, and they're letting the informants run their rackets and crooked deals and illegal dealings. And it was like, wow, an informant could get really rich and or take a bullet. But that was what was going on there. So there were good guys. Like in that crew, like maybe 5 guys. 2 of them were really quite honorable. And when I left, I was really just concerned about them or whatever, because they were talking and they got in a lot of trouble. And all right, thank you, Deb. Give everyone my love. And they kind of knew, but I was kind of close to a couple of guys that I was really hoping they could amend the wrongs that they were doing, and but they got used to this money, and blowing it, and just knowing they could make more, and just blowing it. But then you can't catch up, and then you got captains and bosses and other people ready to, because they don't want, the bosses and captains don't want these guys running all this other bullshit, because when they get pinched, they're most likely there's a chance they can rat. So you want to run a tight corporation and eliminate that stuff. There was enough money to make on bookmaking operations. That's what boggles my mind to this day. Not even just a hardcore bookmaking operation. There's enough money there. Take that money, invest it, buy property, get financially stable, melt that money in for your future. But no, they either died broke in prison or died broke in the street, or made it out of the life and didn't have nothing but Social Security or whatever, the basic, because they never paid into it. So the honorable people, the Mafia honorables, there were some, they did it the right way. And they took it on the chin, So what's that being honorable mean? Yeah, Tony was honorable, yeah, but we've been visiting him in Attica now for 17 years, and yeah, but he's honorable. What's that get you at the end of the day? A bag of chips? But all that Cosa Nostra and all that loyalty and that fraternity, it all went out the door. It all went out the door. And all these guys you see on YouTube, well, they have immunity. That's why they're doing all their YouTube channels, all these big channels. Why are they talking about murders? Because they got immunity, because they dealt with the FBI. I wasn't privy to no knowledge about murders or anything. I could just get fourth-hand information and just wonder, well, I don't know what happened if a person disappeared or not. I don't know. I'm not on the scene. I'm at OTB gambling or I'm home. I don't know what they do. So it was a crazy world, and a lot of these channels, these YouTube channels with these big names like Mike and Sammy and all these other guys, they're talking to you because they were rats. I don't consider any of them honorable. I really don't. I really do not. They're hustlers that are hustling YouTube, and God bless them. They're born hustlers. They're trying to make a dollar, and nobody cares. YouTube, and of course the YouTube viewers do not care about them being rats or not. They just have the ability to tell good stories. That's entertainment. So it is what it is. So I just wanted to put something up here real quick, kill some time to the next basketball game starts. And thanks, Deb. And God bless y'all. And I'll do the spiritual devotions tomorrow. So thanks a lot. Subscribe, share, comment, like, and all that. Thanks a lot, folks.